Regrets were given by board manager for tonight's meeting. And so at this time, we're going to pause and seek guidance. We'll move on now. You've got the agenda before you. Is there any additions or deletions?
Move is accepted as presented.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Delegations, presentations, there's none for tonight. Approval of the minutes from October the 9th.
So moved.
So a second.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. Unfinished business from the minutes of October the 9th. Is there any unfinished business? Anybody wants to bring up?
The only unfinished business was actually the New Year's levy. And you were saying the other day we were going to have hours. So I just go ahead and do my thing. Okay, I just wanted to make sure it was. Yep.
I'll be here in spirit.
That's good.
So the other thing is too, after Al and Stacy's presentation, I don't think I received anything from them in terms of the funding.
They haven't put anything in writing.
And the other thing is there is the open house this week for the Warcraft rally at the fire hall at 6 p.m. on the 15th. I got an invitation, or it went out to, it was the public. When Laura was here last month, they said that they were doing just an open house for the public.
Okay. And when is that again?
Thursday, the 15th.
Just a fire hall.
It's for the community. It's at 6 o'clock.
At the DB Fire Hall.
Okay. Anything else? No. Now we're going to move on to the CEO report. Are there any questions for the CEO regarding the report?
I just wanted to note that December 24th this year falls on a Monday, and we normally close at noon. But I'm thinking if it's all right with the council, we'll close the whole day.
In the past, we have always, like, Christmas Eve is all on 24th. We close on Friday.
Yeah, close the
That
fire.
actually has happened a few times, and we've always done that.
Okay. All that.
I do.
It'd be kind of funny walking in.
Because I've always
Bring everyone in
pushed
for
that.
half a day on a
Yeah, it's a
Monday.
pain in the butt for everybody.
Why would you bother?
Yeah,
But where do you get
I just
that
wanted to
back
make
in?
sure council was aware of that.
But I did want to say that has been what we've always done in the past.
Any other questions or any comments on the report?
Nope, that's good.
Just that I'll be away for the next council meeting.
Yeah. I'll make a list.
I think that we should have
Give
to
them a hard
meet on the
time.
24th.
That's fine,
Well, right?
I'm gone. I fly out on the 21st. 21st to the 28th. I'm back.
We're allowed to have vacation. Me too.
Okay. Meeting dates and reminders. Is that before you? Any issues with any of that? Okay. CAO update. We just did that. Department reports. Is there any questions? Any of the department reports?
So, talking about the department reports, is this, does council get enough information from the department reports? I mean, staff, they do put a fair amount
I like them.
of,
I like
but-
to keep
I like
people
them.
well informed.
okay, so, because there's sometimes no questions and
But
that.
I want to say I did have a question.
Okay,
but-
good.
If I have a question, I'll just harass Jeff first.
No, mine was on the 2017 tax sale. So it's got the last day for redemption was September 24th. Does that mean, I just want to get it in my head, is that the ones that now they cannot ever redeem them again? That's those people.
Yeah, there's they have 6 months, when they purchase it in March, the owners original owners have 6 months to pay off the taxes, and they get their property back.
Okay,
So that date was just passed, that was,
okay,
yeah.
but isn't there, yeah, I haven't been to a tax sale in 100 years.
So I think
I
you're
just wanna
thinking
make sure-
there's property that if they're over 6 years in arrears.
Okay,
That 6-month redemption period doesn't apply. There's no redemption period,
okay.
but it has to be 6 years in arrears.
So if I was 3 years in a year, and they're saying the redemption period is over, but I'm in the money and I come in, I can't get it
Once
back.
the 6 months, if it has sold at tax sale,
Yeah.
and the 6 months has gone by, then you've lost, you can't redeem it at any time. You can't, that way, because the new owner wouldn't be able to do anything with their property. As it is, there's 6 months.
That's a long time, man.
There's 6 months where they're sort of in a holding pattern, they're not allowed, other than to make the property safe if there's a hole in the roof. And plus, they still have to get permission, because that adds cost if it is redeemed. But they must put insurance on it, but they really can't kick anybody out or move in or do any major renovation to that property for 6 months, because the
So if
owner.
I was there as the owner, they can't make me leave?
No, they can't.
Oh, okay.
Not for 6 months.
Really? I didn't know that. I didn't know that part.
Lots of people that buy properties on ticket tax sale and don't know that.
Somebody living in it, there's a lot of.
Yeah, so
Property.
getting back to it, like, I don't know if there's any time you would rather, like, continue with this, but do you see value in maybe having, like, once every second meeting, or once a year, have like, somebody come in to one of those departments and
I
do a
would,
report?
actually, I
I mean, if
think,
it's okay with council, if it's okay with the staff too, if they don't, if they.
Well, there is a couple things I was gonna ask, and they are gonna relate to having a presentation from staff, because I wanna have more information on it.
Okay.
One is, with the building department, and with the new Accessibility Act that the province implemented, I'd like to know what impact that have on our municipality, and I know that there was just some training in Halifax recently for building inspectors regarding accessibility, and I'd kind of like to know more about that. But I'd like to know basically, because I don't know what the act's gonna mean as far as like, with any new construction, I can see, yes, you should definitely have, the building code should reflect whatever's in that act. But I was listening on the radio and they were talking about how, some restaurants in Halifax, downtown Halifax, so, you gotta be able-bodied to get into most of them, because they're an old
Yeah.
building and some of them have the washrooms in the basement and whatever. And others are good to get into. So what are the impacts gonna be on the private sector pertaining to accessibility? There's gonna be some buildings, yes, you can implement change, but other buildings, historic buildings.
they're saying it will not be accessible,
No,
but that's what they were saying.
but I'd like to know more about that from
Oh,
a
yeah.
building perspective. Jeff?
So certainly we are following this closely. As with all things this big, I would suggest there are some aspects of the province that have a well thought out plan on rolling this out. We had a presentation recently at AMA from the Accessibility Directorate, and kind of with 2030, it's not quite as immediate as it seems. But there's been a lot of discussion that's created a lot of confusion within even the building departments across the province. The province is looking to bring in a few changes to the Nova Scotia building code, potentially later this fall or early spring. That's going to start with some things on new construction, but there's still a lot of interpretation. The province was offering a training session on a program that isn't yet implemented as part of the Accessibility Act, and was surprised when registration was low. Right? So that's the kind of, there's some confusion around it, and it's so big, and because we've asked for some clarification, we're okay in this building, but like I say, trying to understand what it's going to mean for municipal-owned infrastructure, and when we're going to know. But I think the Accessibility Directorate is working on a couple of, I remember what were the two, they're working with 2 municipalities on a bit of they're going to give you time to plan and analyze. it's a very gradual, like 2030 is the
There are
end goal.
milestones, so, I mean, even though the deadline is 2030, there are milestones that have to be met.
Right, but the planning was
Planning
like
was
a
the first-
2 year, like
yeah.
it was till 2020 for the planning stage, and then it was phase 1 and 2. But even the presentation we had from the director, the accessibility director, had no information on what in those terms, specifics, we just missed. But yeah, it is certainly one that is coming up. Al is certainly staying in touch with the training programs and their disability inspectors in Halifax, because a lot more people have there's more questions on it than there is answers from the municipality, and for new construction and how this is working. But I think they're looking at by next September, I think the Nova Scotian changes that they're looking at to bring in levered or levered door handles into homes and a bunch of those. They're starting with some of that.
I'm just gonna jump back and right before that last topic. You guys are talking about having the department heads come and talk to us. We did something like that when we were setting our council priorities, and I really liked it, except I would like it to be maybe a little more prepared next time. It seemed it was kind of it wasn't as prepared as I thought it would be, the presentations. But I think that's a really good idea, and have the staff come with, ideas and opportunities. Like, I know that it's our responsibility to make decisions, but they're the ones that are in the thick of it. They're the ones that are aware of, provincial programs, those sorts of things that maybe we would need.
May I respond first to that? I would rather see that in a planning meeting.
Mm-hmm.
My idea was to provide councils with updates on what they're working on now.
Okay.
It's to be frank, it is
Mm-hmm.
council's job to determine our strategic direction and what we want staff to work on. So my thought was like, are you getting enough from from the reports, and it's nice to put a face to it and have the ones that are comfortable doing that, coming in and just providing maybe a quarterly or even a semi-annual
Look
report
background
on
on
what
what the
they're
department's
doing.
working on, what's working, what isn't, just basic stuff. I'm not saying,
But-
what do you want me to do in Freeport? I mean, like, how's things going in this department, what are the big issues? Is there any opportunities around that we should be aware of? That sort of stuff.
Okay, what I was trying to say that I felt that I just wanted to hear what they're doing now. And, if they have suggestions, I'd like it just to come through the admin. I'm sorry, I think, I want to be very open and public, but sometimes if ideas are given and they're not feasible at this time due to money or whatever, I don't want the public to believe that we don't care. I believe the public is important to hear what's being done, and I have no problem they even came to a planning meeting. But to me, I think the public is very important and needs to know what's going on, but I don't want them to get the wrong ideas. Does that make sense what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
I mean, I understand where you're coming from, David,
I
but
see where you're coming from.
I don't
You don't want to build up expectations. Oh, that was a great idea.
But
That
they
made three of possibilities for the future. But I do think maybe in a closed setting like a priority
part of our
meeting,
priority settings, I think
that's the place for it.
that would be the place.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I just really like that, and maybe a little more involved next time, a little deeper. I just found it useful and interesting.
I think we would just need, like, you guys know how we pick quarterly, the bylaw policy, like quarterly, right? So if Bruce from the airport came, they can do the whole quarterly. It'd be like, you wouldn't have all 4 directors here on all 4 nights.
no.
Right? Bruce would be 1 month, and might be a month off, and then Al could come in and talk, instead of it just being, we only ever talk to Al on dangerous on site.
Yeah, that's right.
So he could talk a little bit with the building department if there was questions, and just work through some of those. Like I say, I know you see some of them in budget time, but Rob, to give an update on how some of those initiatives from budget time are going, instead of just being in this report. Like I say, I know there's some staff members, Terry, you see quite often through the year, but there's others that we don't see. We just wanted to kind of supplement the reports, keep these coming, but give a chance for them to be in the same room with you guys and enhance the report a little bit.
Like, for example, there's a lot of title stuff going on down there, and I do like having, Terry's inputs there, and he's, 1,000 times more knowledgeable, so there is, fair bit of connecting going on there, and that's unofficial.
The other question I had was pertaining to the Heritage Inventory project. It says it's gonna go live early December. Is there any opportunity that we can have presentation on our community hall on December the 10th on, like, the update and what we should see? And
And check with them, see
if
if they're ready, yeah.
they're ready to do that?
Well, I've seen it's really cool what he's doing. What I've seen, so,
It hasn't gone live yet.
So what have you seen?
Well, I've seen like the photocopies of the materials and like what it looks like. He showed me for money they got from my house. So it looked super cool.
We can check, I think that timeline should work.
They said early December, and
Yep.
and so December the 10th, that's the last time we meet, and so we could do it.
We could do it on December 10th.
Yep.
Derek.
There, that was just something there.
Is there anything else in the department reports? Hearing no more, we're gonna move on. There's no dangerous and unsightly premises tonight. Business items, reliable internet for everybody.
So this came out from FCM, and it's more of a package for, I guess, lobbying the federal government for more additional funds. So they have a one-page sheet, maybe do a press release. I'm not sure how council wants to go about.
I support the fact that we should try to do something. I know what the drive behind this is that the FCN has made this one of their priorities, to try to get the federal government to make a commitment of $400 million a year annually for over a 10-year period, which would be $4 billion. And that would certainly make a huge dent into the amount of money needed to provide rural internet in Canada. And so there is the other fund, the Connect Innovate, which is we were not successful in getting funds from that. And then there's the CRTC. Yeah, CRTC. I don't like that.
$700 million.
$750 million in that pool of funds, and now the provincial government's got 192 or 193 million in their trust fund, and so there is starting to see some monies coming for internet, and if the FCM can be successful in getting a federal commitment for this initiative, then we shouldn't have any issues getting internet provided for us
Long
long-term.
I think we should support it, because when we had the workshop, it was it 500 million, the first federal money that came out. They had 4.5 or 4.7 billion they'll ask. So this is why this came out with the FCM, so I fully think we should send.
Should we send a letter or something like that? Or is
If that's what they're looking for.
opt-in, or they're just doing it automatically?
They're asking you to go see your MP and leave a letter
There's a
with
whole
the MP
campaign.
and
Okay.
In there that you do, some of it is tweeting your needs in your area, other is sharing online.
I mean, it's like today, I had a person from Centerville telling me that there's nothing he can do about getting any internet. And he has two daughters, the other end of Centerville, that, but he says there's nothing. And he said, in this day and age, there should be something, somehow.
Maybe Elon Musk and his low satellite thing will make all this a moot point anyway.
Anyway, yeah, but if everybody's in agreement, we'll support this.
Oh, yeah.
We'll work on that. Correspondence, you've had 3 pieces of correspondence. Market basket measure, Canada's Fiscal Poverty Line. King's Transit Authority, and the Town of Annapolis Royal. The Town of Annapolis Royal was a thank you referring to the Heritage Conference that was held up in Annapolis, and I know that Rob did a lot of work on that conference and everyone involved in it. And, apparently we sponsored some scalps for the event too, so. And, is there any questions pertaining to the correspondence? And poverty is not a, that's no surprise, I don't think anybody here. Nothing else, there's no example for tonight.
I forgot, I do really make a request. I've been asked if I can bring, out to BC with me, some 10, 12 little gifts, and I was wondering if we still had any adults left. But no, but from the doctors, was there adults left? Yeah, adults were left over, we sold back. Oh, you sold it back, okay.
Yeah, see, what I did is, I just brought it in and then just filled out what we used.
Yeah, I just wanted something little,
Yeah, a cute little, cool little present like that would be cool.
well, it's being given to the, it's being given to the, elders, of the First Nations of where we are.
Or
And
maybe,
that's why I was thinking, I thought we might have had some adults.
maybe I could get you like a jar of periwinkles or something interesting and cool.
No, I'm leaving Monday after,
Okay.
our
Yeah,
bylaw
we're fine,
policy.
good stuff.
So, that was, they had, it came, and you know how you don't look at something, but you look at it, but they just did something small to be, like they gave us, an actual fact, I have a list of what I'm supposed to do when I enter, how you greet, how you respond,
What are you doing there?
it's a biosphere.
Oh, okay, got it.
We'll be doing, but it's just that we're on their land, and we will be,
Of course.
they are actually joining in. Yeah, it's just,
Gotta leave Monday, too bad, man. I'm back up Thursday, I'll see if I can, get you some fresh stuff.
not this time of year, but maybe I'll just steal some pens or something. Well, I
That's a
wasn't,
good idea.
oh, yeah, I just want to see that. But thank you. I mean, you know, whatever. Never comes out right when I'm trying to say it.
So, if there's nothing else, then I'm gonna ask for.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yay!